Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble. Again, on Rumble it's continues the same. I'm just re-uploading one video per day from Void Watcher series until it ends. Then I will proceed to catching up with XCOM 2 episodes until it catches up with YouTube stuff, and pray pray it's on par with the YouTube stuff. Finally, I managed to get to record at least one episode of Prey. It's been pretty busy, so I cannot promise anything from the schedule that I want to keep up, which is basically trying to launch at least one day, one episode per day of each game series. But yeah, I will I will try my best. But this is the end of the year, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of work to be done because the end of the year. And then in the country where I live now, there were all the celebrations, like it's not Independence Day. I'm so sorry, I butchered that. It's the Union Day, where the country was founded. So a lot of stuff happening in December. So it's always quite an hectic time of the year for me, but yeah, I at least I managed to record and upload already the Prey episode. It will be later today on the channel, after of course this episode is published. And also regarding YouTube, I got the archive posts on Blogger, and everything is posted on Patreon for extra support. And yeah, basically not much happening, but some interesting things here, especially in the industry. Supposedly, this is kind of a rumor, the AMD is going to launch the Ryzen 5700X3D. Again, this is an AM4 system or platform, supposedly in the first quarter of 2024. It's been in the rumor mill for quite while, but yeah, and supposedly they are also going to, at that rumor at the time when it started, the 5500 X3D also supposedly is going to launch. Again, I think because they launched the 5800 X3D, and in the meantime they launched also the 5600 X3D. Again, the yields, again, they are never 100%, so there are chips that cannot achieve the same kind of level of performance with the 50 in the case of the 5800 X3D, and I suppose they are being kept kind of deep storage until they have enough chips at least to launch a comprehensive 5700 X3D. The same thing with 5600. Might be some remainings of the 58, and then they are trying to sort it out and trying to take advantage of what they can manage to get, at least justify a launch of a SKU here. And the fact that there is a lot of people still with AM4 platform still playing games and using it in a daily basis. And this is good news, especially for people that have AM4 platform with older CPUs that don't have a lot of budget to upgrade. This might be a good... already the fact that, for example, the 5600X is a pretty good CPU comparatively with the 2000 and 3000 series. It's already a huge jump, but in terms of gaming CPUs, I think the 5800 X3D it's the best in terms of the AM4 platform, and the 5600 was a very limited release. I think it was only in America in Micro Center shops, if not mistaken, because it was they have very limited inventory on that one. But we might get some of the 5700 X3D might be more I don't know, global market, I'm not sure. And by the stats here, I think it might be a very good alternative to the 5800 X3D. Again, if this information is confirmed from AMD. We don't have any news. We might get something in I don't know, CES. I don't know if they're going to make an appearance there, AMD, regarding like new products. But yeah, even though the in terms of frequency, at least the rumored specs, it's a little bit lower than the 5800 X3D. The fact that it already has the 3D cache stuff, it can give a huge boost in terms of gaming performance. We'll see how it goes. Again, I will try to keep it up with these kind of things when I see an article that might give more, I don't know, more official information, hopefully. Again, there is also the 8000G APU stuff that is coming out. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that we will need to wait for CES, which is like the big tech with new hardware, usual announcements. We will have to wait for sure regarding at least CPUs that event there. But continuing with the AMD, supposedly there's been some 7000 series GPUs from AMD that are supposedly have 50% discount on Amazon, and not very likely a scam, for sure is a scam. They don't do this, it's a scam. I don't know what to tell you. 50% off, especially in a brand new, even the 7900 XTX, if it is 50% off, it's a scam. Even though I also like very much to see these kind of discounts, they are basically a scam, especially in AIB. Sorry, especially in AIB cards or GPU cards, it's a scam, and most of them usually it's come from Sapphire, mainly because they have an excellent reputation on doing excellent AIB GPUs from AMD. They are kind of the top line. Basically, then we have the XFX. Also got the power colors, got all this, but usually Sapphire is the most I don't know, recognizable in terms of qualities and everything, and usually it's the target of these scams. Again, they are launching their social media that one of the things to for sure prevent this kind of scams, it's checking always where it ships from and who sells the hardware itself. In the rare occasions I check Amazon, usually sometimes to price reference in my market. I always check this part here, who is selling me and where does it ships from, because I know if I go like a third-party seller that you never heard the name of, if it is sold by even from the AIB itself, I think it's kind of okay to check. But always, if there is a link, just check the link, see if there is if it is a store that you recognize or something like that. But usually I always prefer to at least ships and sells by Amazon itself, or at least I think AIBs, they have their own storefronts, if not mistaken. I usually don't use much Amazon, that's why I'm a little bit reticent of giving you like definitive information. I usually use Amazon as a price comparative regarding other stores that are in my region. So I usually don't buy on Amazon, especially PC stuff. I prefer a physical store where I can go and have like the receipt and deal with people, and then afterwards something bad happens, I have a physical place to go through and make a return or a complaint or something like that, and I don't have to deal with courier stuff by returning and email stuff. It's too much for me. I prefer physical store, even though sometimes I pay a little bit extra for that, but at least it's something that it's more convenient for me. But that's me. But yeah, they been to Sapphire, told that from their part they cannot do anything, of course, because this is a storefront. They are not the ones that are taking care of that storefront. So again, always be careful regarding especially GPUs. And I think maybe some CPUs here and there might happen when you have like these huge deals, especially now in the end of the year by the Christmas time. For sure, a lot of stuff will come through in terms of scams. Again, Amazon, it's a huge company that has a lot of third-party seller stuff at the marketplace. Yeah, it will always squeeze through one or another people trying to scam you regarding this kind of most sought, especially more sought PC components. Yeah, and supposedly there have been recent listings of 4090 GPUs pricing as low as $400, which is even worse than 50% of a 7900 XCX. So never take this, don't buy it. Unfortunately, it's not true. Wishful thinking will not make you get a GPU at that price. But yeah, take care when in this Christmas shopping, and if it is good to be true, it is because it is too good to be true. And continuing with AMD, they similarly will open the largest R&D center in India to accelerate development next-gen CPU, GPUs, and SoCs, system something chips, system operating chips, something like that. I think it's called SoCs. Yeah, again, this is through the investment of government of India, which they give incentives, basically with taxation policies, and the fact that India has a lot of engineers, and they have, again, in factory terms, they have a lot of cheaper labor comparatively to other countries. And yeah, they are going to open the biggest R&D. I think they are expecting around 3,000 engineers in the upcoming years. I don't know if it's like the full staffing of 3,000 engineers, or they expect 3,000 engineers to come and go in the coming years. I'm not sure. But yeah, again, it was attended by the CTO. I just highlighted this because Paper Master, it's a good name for a CTO. I don't know why. But yeah, we got some quotes here from him, and yeah, this is going to boost a little bit more in terms of what people reference as third world countries, which I don't see it that way. But yeah, India is, it's already been speculated for a while now that it is going to be a huge hub in terms of technological ramp up in India. Yeah, and the largest global design center, which is, again, it's going for CPUs, GPUs, adaptive SoCs, so the console chips will start to be designed there afterwards, all the new CPUs and GPUs. Yeah, 500,000 square feet of land. I don't know, feet, I don't know how many kilometers or acres this is, so I assume it's a lot. But yeah, and of course they are going to put good use of the Xilinx IPs that AMD acquired a few years ago, I think, like a couple of years ago. And yeah, and of course this is going to also affect data centers in India and in telecommunication stuff there also, for sure, because there is a lot of yeah, Xilinx, I think it like modems and stuff like that. I think they are used a lot on that kind of technology. So it's good to see that at least it boosts up a little bit more the things in India, and so hopefully it will spread around the world and everybody has access to better stuff at decent prices. At least that's my hope. And lastly, we got Starfield, supposedly surpasses 12 million players. Goal is to last as long as Skyrim. I don't, unless they not an 180, but they need to steer the direction of the game in a relatively different way, because it's not as Skyrim, Starfield. Even though I didn't play it, but from everything that I've been seeing, I don't think it's going to happen. And this 12 million players is very sketchy, because usually when they give player numbers, it can be also due to the fact that they have the Xbox Pass or whatever it's called. Even though this is come from afterwards, he made some comments regarding, I think, in the Latin countries, so Latin American countries, the Xbox Series X is going to increase the price there. Yeah, but yeah, I've got some things here regarding Skyrim comparisons. Skyrim is such an amazing hit from Test Game Works, talking to how Todd Howard and the team. Really, what they wanted to do is give people who love space and space exploration the same opportunity. That's the problem. If one of the core tenets is to try to copycat Skyrim but in space, it will never work. Usually games that are a huge hit, people just focus on trying to get the best experience. Even taking into account existing IPs like Baldur's Gate 3, it's been hailed, it's at least from this decade that I can remember, one of the best RPGs ever, because they put their focus on delivering the best RPG they can deliver there, especially classical RPG, and they focus on that, and it's being praised all over the place. But when you start to try to copycat previous hits, it will not going to work, because you're not focused on delivering the best experience possible for that specific game. You're just trying to copy paste an experience in a different setting, which is not going to work. I think it's one of the flaws of Starfield, from what I've been seeing. Maybe it's got too much planets on it, but I think the main issue on that game is the engine itself. The engine, it was not prepared to be a foundation for what it's tried to be, mainly because when you are trying to give an exploration game, you have to have immersiveness, or else it's going to turn it's not good to have an let's say even a small game like Dark Souls. It's my best experience that came up from the top of my head. You have the fast travel there, but the exploration itself, you can Dark Souls 3 is not the best example, but Dark Souls 1, you can explore the entire map. Technically, you can go around the map without even basically a loading screen per se. You can explore the map is all conjoined together. You can go around and explore. You don't have you don't really need to have like loading screens. Usually you do, because it's jumping from bonfire to bonfire, but everything to a certain degree is interconnected, and there are ways to go about it. I don't know if it is it would be better, for example, to have launched the game taking into account the engine itself, to have like less planets, but instead of having 3 main hubs, having 10 main hubs or something like that, and have all around the systems there, and basically that's it. I don't know, having more handcrafted content, because from what I see, a lot of the other 900 planets and stars, most of the planets, a lot of them are like, you cannot explore, you can only scan them. But then supposedly on uninhabitable planets you have a lot of outposts out of nowhere, because of the AI, the randomness engine there they use. It's got a lot of outposts there out of nowhere. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. They tried to copycat what they had from Skyrim and tried to copy in a space exploration. I don't think they really thought too much on that. For the engine, especially for the engine that they had, I think they tried to overachieve, which is an issue by itself. But hopefully the mods are mitigating a little bit of these issues, but they are not fully resolving that. So unless, I think we might have the creation toolkits, I think we might have a better game. But yeah, plus the fact that as their crusade with charging mods and the storefront of mods, they just really want to find a way to monetize mods. It's going to only to backfire. even if you try to pay modders, it's a tricky plan to go about it, and yeah, people will refuse to basically. At least the majority will not pay for mods for sure. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to wrap up here with some gaming deals. We got some new deals finally. We got King Arthur's Night Tale. This is a very interesting one. Similar to, I think, XCOM, because a tactical turn-based tactic game with some dark fantasy, similar to not similar. This is kind of King Arthur. Sorry, I'm a little bit blocked off now trying to explain the game. Yeah, it seems pretty interesting. The combat is similar to XCOM to a certain degree. And yeah, it seems interesting. I think that the story is pretty good from what the things that I see here, and the fact that it's got very positive reviews. I think it's a good thing. It's one of those that I like to try off. 60% off. I think it's a good deal, even though it came out last year. They had they've been patching the game and putting out stuff there. Yeah, I think if you like this kind of games, I think it's a well worth buy. We got again the Plague Tale duology on sale, 80% on the first game and 55% on the second game, and you got also the bundle, even though it's a little bit expensive. But again, you can, yeah, it's a little. The bundle is not it's not a good deal here. Yeah, for the two games, if you buy separately, you get half the price of the bundle that it's here. But yeah, one of those that I like to try one of these days when I have time. Again, a lot of catch up to do, and it's all got very positive reviews in both of them. So it's one of those that I like to try out. We got Dying Light, the first game, the definitive edition. I think it's the definitive edition. Yeah, the definitive edition is the way to go for this game. Again, the parkour mechanics is still solid after all these years. So yeah. If you like the parkour and these kind of things, $10 for this game with everything that they launch throughout the years. I think it's a good deal here. And lastly, we got Children of Morta, one of those roguelike that has co-op. Here it says multiplayer, but it's more co-op stuff here. Optional, of course. You can play the game solo. And again, action slash, isometric view, pixel art. It's one of those that I think the story it's pretty good also. Again, you got the complete edition if you want. I think it's a good deal because it has playable DLC here. And yeah, again, it's one of those roguelike. That's what I wanted to say. And yeah, basically that's it for today, guys. Later I will have the Prey episode, the fourth one. And yeah, I'm going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. At the moment, the extra support will be for storage, for me to have the ability to have space to have backups of the projects that I do for my clients, and of course extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.